friends, welcome back to the Serenity Knitting Society Podcast. My name's Alex. This is a fun bonus episode that I just decided to film right then. But I chucked some lip gloss on just for you. So it had been 1,000 years or 9 weeks since my previous podcast because I got very busy and I'm about to start back at work. So I decided maybe I should film something else. And actually, I was just about to sit down and go through my stash, and I thought, you know what? People might want to see that. Like, maybe not. If you don't, see ya. Because this could just be an hour of me talking about my stash. And it's not massive. Like, I have one, I don't know how many litre crate. I have one plastic tub. So it's not massive. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, probably. I reckon I'll probably sit here and chat for an hour, maybe a little bit more, if I'm finding it interesting, and see how I go. Again, it's 1,000 degrees here in Australia. I just had a very large coffee, so I'm just drinking water in a cup. Because we normally drink water, not in cups. I'm drinking water out of my, I feel like if I put water in a fun cup, I'm more likely to drink it. There are some days where I genuinely get through the day and I'm like, all I've had is coffee and tea. Whoops. And I'm wondering why I have a headache. So if you're like me, have a good try. Maybe put it in a fun cup and see if that helps. So I just have the box in front of me and I'm just gonna reach in, pull some stuff out, talk to you about it and tell you what I think I might do with it, or if I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. Okay. I'm looking at it going, maybe I should have thought this, maybe I should have opened the box before I actually started pressing play, but nope. Oh God. Okay. So the first thing I'm seeing, I feel like I can't give you a view, but I can describe it to you. It's utter chaos. Just close your eyes. Imagine utter chaos. There's just a whole bunch of random shit piled in the top from, I feel like my glasses are dirty. Yep, they are. There's just a whole bunch of random shit popped in there pretty much from when I finish a project and I'm like, oh shit, better get that ball out of my project bag so I can start another one. And then I just shove it on the top. So, notable mentions, these guys. So this is my Quince & Co. Kestrel. It's my leftovers from my ranunculus tea. It's 100% linen. I think what I'm going to do with this, I have been planning, I want to actually knit pretty much the same thing, or maybe the rift tea that I ended up frogging. I was like, what's that word again? I actually want to knit that in a cream in this same yarn because I really love this yarn. I don't know what to do with this ball. It could be really cute as like a hair tie or something. So anyway, future Alex is going to have to work that out. I have a bit left over of this from my Sophie scarf. This is a Malabrigo Rio, whatever the DK is. In the colour, I think it's Heavenly, pretty sure. So that's left over from that with the Rowan Silk Haze bit of mohair. I think this will probably just make some mohair socks. I don't know how much I need though. That's what stops me with this, is I'm like, I don't want to get halfway through a pair of socks and be like, fuck, I don't have enough. So that actually I find really stressful and I don't enjoy that process. But I'm fairly confident I have enough here for a pair of shorties. I don't know that for sure, I'm just making it up, but I could find out. Maybe if I had another mohair to hold with the cuffs, heels and toes, then I should be fine. Then I have this alpaca, 100% alpaca. I think it's called Incita or Encita. The I sometimes makes a ch sound. It's in the rose, I think it's called Rose colorway. Bought that one from Skein Sisters. I made a Sophie scarf out of this. Okay, let's get into something that oh, see, it's like a trip down memory lane. This, I made my not boho, hipster shawl. This is the silk from the Nundle fibre mill. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. Some people edit that stuff out. Nope, I don't have time for that shit. So that's that. Okay, so that's all my, not all my leftovers, but those are all the leftovers that I can see on the top here. Plans I have. Okay, so here's the stash that this is what actually made me think to pull this out. This is what was making my brain go, you know what, we should just go through. Oh, I think I just found some more mohair hanging around. Oh, to find it. Look, see? Don't know where that's coming from. Find that in a bit. This is what made me think, okay, I'm gonna go through my stash today. I have these 3 beautiful skeins. Ooh, cannot hold them. Of Corrie worsted. Now, if you have seen the podcast at all, this is Winterfell, High Garden, French Grey. If you've seen any of the other episodes, the real podcast episodes, you will know that my intention in ordering these, oh God, is there a kitten? This is about to get really crazy. If there's a kitten, I'm gonna have to pause because he will eat it all. I was hoping he was asleep and didn't hear me. My intention with these was originally to knit the I don't even know if I'm saying this right. The Cecropia, the moth. The cow with the moth. The colourwork cow with the moth. I did buy it. I love it. I still want to knit it. However, I don't know if I want to knit it in this anymore, and I'll tell you why. This in Australia is $50 a skein. It's 50 Australian dollars. And if you're sitting there going, WTF, so am I. This is beautiful, but I'm worried that with the cow, I'm not going to wear that every single day because it's a beautiful cow, but it's very much a statement piece. And I definitely want it, and I 1000% want to knit it. But as far as like wear it to work, possibly a $100 project, I don't know, I don't know, maybe I'm being ridiculous, but also I've got this like incredible yarn, and I kind of am thinking sweater, like now just to be clear, can't make a sweater out of these, but I'd be more than happy to invest in a few more given how beautiful the yarn is. Also, the other factor is it's in, I don't know, it's not prickly, but I think for around my neck, I think I'd like something like a lot. I think I'd like something a bit softer. It just has a slight, I don't know, it's also 35 degrees, so it's hard to tell really. I'm just not sure if it's something I want around this very, very sensitive area of my body. I'm not super sensitive to prickly yarns at all. Like for example, Newtoden, fine. Oh, maybe I should do it in Newtoden. Anyway, consider that. This is the beautiful Lily Untangled Gapey, this little guy. This can be my thumbnail, ready? I always forget to do a thumbnail. So recently I've had some very awkward things as the this is like I'm in a strange mood. I've had some very awkward screenshot photos because I just haven't forgotten to take one, and I can't be bothered to like get dressed again to do it. So I think this is Stila. It's a Newtoden yarn. I'll come back to this because I have a plan, so hang tight. Anyway, point is, I'm just not sure if it's a right around my neck cozy piece. I think if I'm going to do a colourwork cowl, I think I want a little bit more softness to it. So I've heard from quite a few people that this Corrie worsted, even though it's called worsted, it can knit up at a DK weight. You can play around with it a little bit. I'm in a number of minds about this. Surprise, surprise. One, And I'd like some feedback if anyone's got any. Do we think I'd look good in a Winterfell? Does this suit my colouring? I can't tell if it's too dark. So I'm tossing up a Winterfell, like just a plain Winterfell sweater. I'm thinking a Lento. It's not too late to join the cow for real this time. That's blowing out a little bit. I think that's a pretty, nope, it's my face. I'd say that's reasonably true. Maybe slightly more tealy in person. That's looking very blue. It is a really beautiful, I'm sure you've heard everybody and their dog talk about this, a beautiful tealy navy blue. I think it would be, gosh, it comes out almost black there, doesn't it? I think this would be stunning. I've considered doing a striped sweater with the French grey, but I think I'm inclined to just have it on its own. The other option is I try and find a colourwork sweater where I can use all three in one way, shape or another. And I'm even thinking of adding, this is not it, but I'm thinking of adding like a butterscotch. I know that they've got colours like a toffee colour or something, but I'm thinking if I had like this kind of dealio, how gorgeous would, stop looking at my face. How gorgeous would that look? So I just feel like for the gorgeousness of this yarn, I think I want a full sweater. I really want the Ceratopia moth cowl. I want it real bad. But I think I need to look into another option. Anyway, so I must admit, part of the reason why I'm going through here is because I have this thing and I love looking at other people's stashes on the interwebs. However, I don't want to order more yarn when I have whole projects worth of yarn. Like I definitely have projects worth of yarn. Now I feel like it's different if I want to order generally speaking, I'm very intentional about what I order. Even with this, I did have an intention. What I find is when I order online, which because I live quite remotely, I do a lot. Sometimes when I order something, I have all the intentions of it being a specific project. For example, I was either going to hold these two, which actually I do love, or these two. Could we do a whole sweater in this? No, don't think it suits me. I love the colour, but I just don't think it's suiting. I think it would wash me out a little bit. It's really annoying because I really love like a pale pink, like a rosy pink, but I actually don't, like a pale pink suits me and a deep ruby suits me, but this kind of like mid pink, just don't know. Doesn't quite, I feel like I need more contrast. Anyway, side note. I had the best of intentions. I thought I knew what I was going to do, but sometimes when you get the yarn, you're like, it's beautiful, but it's not it's not the right yarn for the project. So this is one where what I thought I was going to do is not what I'm going to do. Could I, and I'm really, again, on the fence about this, do I just cast something on and, you know, like say la vie, use it, or do I wait for the right project? And I must admit with these, because they're pretty on the more expensiver end, I'm inclined to wait for the right project for the yarn. However, I have a lot of yarn here, so surely I can use something for something. So yeah, those I am gonna just stash them, wait for the right thing. There's a very decent possibility I will do a Winterfell sweater at some point. However, I think what I would love to do is actually hold a fingering with a mohair and just like really, I feel like this is a kind of color, again, contrast, could be really nice. I would wear the shiitake mushrooms out of. So I feel like having a really beautiful mohair sweater, worth it. Okay. So thanks team, you've helped me make that decision. We're not touching those yet. What else have we got? Okay. I'm a little overwhelmed. Okay, so I loved the ideas. I just showed this in my last podcast, but I'm going to show it again because I've actually had some ideas. I really loved the ideas for these gorgeous skeins. They are Things Created Equal, both of them from the Rooted Club in August and October, given to me by these, like given. I won them. So they weren't sponsored or gifted or anything. I entered a competition. I entered the Grocery Girls Sock Bash and I won. And they sent me a whole bunch of cool stuff, which I showed in my last video. But these two beautiful skeins were not gifted. Alex, you're going to have to put the sponsored stickers. These were not gifted. I repeat, I won these. I entered like everybody else and then I won them. There's going to be someone who's going to be like, she totally got gifted these. Okay, I didn't. I won them like every other normal human being. And I asked, what do you think I should do with them? And everyone was like, some people wrote back and were like, Lento, Ranunculus. What was the other one? Love Note. And so I could. Now there's 437 yards, which is pretty decent. I would be tempted, because I am a larger size, and I know the Lento people can do with these, but because I'm a larger size, I have a 125 centimeter bust. I'm normally an Australian. To be honest, I just bought jeans today and I bought them in a size 16. So I have no idea what the fuck size I am right now. I can be anywhere between a 16 to a 22. But generally speaking, I'm somewhere between either an 18 or a 20. Honestly, sizing. I got fluff on my face. Sizing is just a mythical thing. I would be inclined to have a third skein of some kind of similarly composed sock yards. This is an 85 superwash merino, 15% nylon. I'd be inclined to probably get an 80-20 or a 75-25 in a similar, if not on either a lighter or a darker or something in the middle, to probably just pad it out a little bit. I could start, to be honest, you know what I could do? Those are my favorite words. Just for future reference, my favorite words, my favorite phrase. Actually, I have a lot of favorite words. My favorite word is a swear word. See if you can guess which one. Feel free to comment below if you think you know which is my favorite word in the English language. It is a swear word, and I use it a lot. I have other words I like too, but this one I just really do like. Very flop on my nose. So what I could do, because I think what I would do is I would start with this as the top one. And I think I would get like a greeny blue coloured mohair to go with it. So I think what I'd do is I could start with this one. And then, no, I think I'd have to go lightest to darkest. I just don't think my particular sensibilities would let me go. Even though I think the green looks really nice with my colouring. Maybe I should do a green sweater. Green would look nice, have green eyes. Okay, we're doing a green sweater. Decision made. So, I think I'd start here. I could then go here and then see where I get up to. And then if I needed to, I could actually get a solid or a variegated, but like a semi-solid green as the base. What do we think? Yay? Nay? The other thing is I could also variegate the mohair. I could start with a greeny blue and then go down to like a green. Am I overcomplicating this? My whole mantra for the year is keep it simple. This sounds very complicated. If I was really keeping it simple, I'd just knit 2 pairs of socks. So that's also a possibility. But I really like it, and I like the idea that I won this and I can like turn it into something I wear, and I do think it would be really fun. So anyway, I like that idea. I think I'm gonna do it. I could just do a very, very simple. I like the idea of the Lento, to be honest. I just think I'd need a third skein. I don't think I'd make it. Maybe if I made it 3/4 sleeves. let me know if you happen to be a larger human body, like myself. If you happen to be in a larger human body, and you have managed to squeeze a lento, a ranunculus, or what's the other one called? A love note out of 800 meters, or approximately 860, 880 yards. Can you tell me? Can I do it? It's a big ass gauge. It'd just be really annoying to get all the way through a sweater and be like, fuck, I can't get it done. Anyway, I love the greeny blue. I want a greeny blue sweater. I have so many things I want to cast on, friends, none of which I own the yarn for. So this is where I'm at. I'm trying to find some. Okay, next. Okay. I'm like scrolling through here going, see, I have some good scraps. All right, I'll get there. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so I did say this in my last, where is the rest of you? There's a whole bunch of them in here. I've got, hang on, let me dig around a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5? I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, no, not. So the beautiful Rainbow Sprinkles did gift me. These are gifted. I will put it in the thingy. Gifted me these gorgeous skeins. Oh, aren't these fun? I forgot. Not that I forgot about them because I talked about them in my last video, but I hadn't actually like looked at them for like a little while. And I just bought, not that long ago, the Pom Pom magazine. Oh, wait. Hold the phone. That's like a very, I don't know if they say that in other countries. That's like that's an Australian old thing. Okay, I have so many ideas rolling through my head. Wait a Mickey minute. Wait, hang on. Okay. What else can I find in here? Because then I have that pink one. Okay, so I have a lot of skeins of pastel speckled yarn. Guys, I've just had an idea. And I'm like, are we putting this on the internet? I think this to myself at least once an episode. I also have a peach, the original Rainbow Sprinkles peach. Hang on. I'm just digging through my stash. It's in here. The peach that started the whole process. Where are you, sweet friend? Oh God. Am I just making this messier? Oh, I forgot about these. Okay, I need to find the other ones of those too. I also would just like to have this for the record that even if I wasn't filming, you guys weren't here, you know what I mean? Even if I wasn't filming and you weren't here, I would most likely still be talking to myself. So this just makes it normal. All right, give me 30 more seconds to look for this and then, not that you have much of a choice. And then if I still can't find it, I'll move on. But I have quite a number. Oh, I know what I've done with it. Okay, so the peach, I actually had it in another bag somewhere to possibly make something with. But I've just had this idea that's blowing my mind. I have a lot of scraps, like a lot of scraps. And then I have this gorgeous, this is the springtime mini collection, which the name has just popped out of my head. I think it's like Step into Spring. It was beautiful. Anyway, this was gifted to me very excitedly. And here's what I'm thinking. I've got all these. Do I do like some kind of gorgeous throw? Or do I do like I want to do a fade of some description is what I'm thinking. So I haven't worked it out. I was like, do I want to do a finer fade? And I can't remember which ones there's something that is there's one of them that's a fingering weight version. There's one that I really like, the Plumpy. Oh, I love the Plumpy. I really want to do that in the Wandering Flock yarn, their DK at some point in my life. But there would 1000% be one that is fingering weight? And what if I just did one of these? Now, here's the thing, because I'm a bougie motherfucker. I would want to hold this with mohair because that's what I would want. But potentially I could not. When I say with mohair, I think if it was going to be a shawl, I'd want to hold it with mohair. So I could do a plumpy if I was holding it with mohair. Or I just haven't knit with look, sometimes I'm like, stop looking at my face, look at the yarn. Okay, so this is going to be I'm going to write up some notes after this for myself. This is going to be a serious consideration, but imagine how amazing this would even look as a blanket. Like, I have a lot of pastel yarns because I love them. I don't wear pastel yarns very much. My first thought when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, let's do a lento in this. Now, I must admit, there's a part of me that goes, oh my God, let's do a lento in this. And then there's another part of my brain going, would you actually wear it? Like, if it's an accessory, I could wear one of my many grey jumpers, because all I do is grey jumpers apparently. I can knit one of my many grey jumpers and freshen it up with this. If I knit this in a lento, I worry that I wouldn't actually wear it all that much. But I feel like with an accessory, I have a bit more fun with colour. Do you know what I mean? So originally, the reason I showed you the pom-pom book before I freaked out was I was thinking I would use a couple of these minis to knit the very freaking cute. Oh, that's cute too. Concentrate. Oh, I love that too. Apparently I need to actually look at this book because I didn't look at it properly. To do now I'm going to show you without showing you can I show you the picture without showing you the pattern? I'm sure I did it the other day. This is just building the suspense. Yes. Socks. These are the Revery Socks by Alison Lutz. And oh, I like the heel. That's very cool. They're a garter heel. They're a garter heel. I wonder if it could tell me. Okay, I don't really understand how the heel's done. It's different. I normally do a heel flap and gusset. I'm getting a little crazy on my most recent, on my really great Tiny Human Knits self-striping socks, which I've already done half the tube. I'm getting a little bit, maybe, what's the word I could look for? I'm being very intentional. Read pedantic. No, I'm being very intentional. My first thing was like, Alex, you're being ridiculous. And I was like, no, I'm not. I want the socks the way I want this. I'm not being ridiculous. I'm being very intentional about the way that the colors sit on the socks. So I've done one tube and then I'm about at like halfway through the ball. Like I've been, what's that thing called? Weighing. And then, gosh, that coffee's really kicking in, isn't it? And then I'm going to do the same colour for the same amount. Hopefully use as much as I can. Anyway, I'll show you in the next episode. I do have what I did, unless I'm finished, in which case I will explain what I did. But I know I'm doing I was like, why am I telling you about this? I'm doing an afterthought heel for the first time. I feel like I watch Tracy and Jodie do it every day. I can work it out. It can't be that hard. Every time in knitting I think something's too hard, it ends up being fine. So I'm having a go. Also, I've just noticed in this photo that they've stuck flowers in their socks, and I think we should all do that now. Sometimes, when I was getting my new glasses, I forgot, I often, like if they're around, at work we have gardenias, here I have frangipanis, And if ever there's like one, I just stick one in my hair, like in my little bun thingy, or I don't know if you can see that little bun thingy. I often just stick one in the back of my hair, and I'd forgotten it was there. And as I was picking up my glasses, this guy goes, "Oh, I love the flower in your hair." And at first I looked at him like he was psychotic because I was like, thanks. And then I remembered that I actually did. It was, he was talking to me. B, I did actually have a flower in my hair. I really actually haven't looked through this as much as I could have. I'm looking through it now being like, I should really look at this. Like the Alethea. That's beautiful. Ruffles aren't super flattering on me. Flattering's not a great word, is it? Because who really cares if you like them? Flattering is just an idea that we have to, I don't know, make our bodies look a certain way. Sometimes I feel uncomfortable in ruffles. They're very cute though, but I don't always feel very comfortable in them. Oh, but it's pretty. Okay, back to what we're doing. So this is another potential project. I'm gonna have a think about that, add it to the pile. Just so you know, I'm gonna just put this back just like this. I'm just gonna stick it in there and be like, oh well. Some people are shuddering and twitching now because they're freaking out about how my hole, that's probably why I shouldn't show you my box of yarn. Okay, another idea. So I have 2 skeins of this Magpie Fibers Swanky Sock, 80% weight. Hold on. Wait. Do we like this idea? I'm like a little on the fence. Okay, well, I'll tell you what I was going to tell you and then we can play with this. Okay, this is fun. If you stopped watching and I'm just hanging out here by myself, that's fine. I'm having a great time. I need some water. So again, this is one that I thought I was buying when I was buying online. I thought it was more cream. Like white cream. It is actually quite cream, but it's more oat. It's very pretty. That makes it look a bit more pink. I thought it was oat. Then I was trying to get it to go pink. I thought it was cream, white, more white. I was going to use it for my color craze, which I ended up getting a different white for. Then I was like, maybe if I hold it with a pink mohair, I can make it pink. I couldn't do that either. So I'll be honest, oat is not a color I would normally wear, mostly because when I was, I don't know, not younger, but a little while ago, not that long ago, someone told me that it washed me out. And I do think I probably have a slight, I wouldn't say a tan necessarily, but it is summer. So I'm probably slightly more color toned than I normally am. Saturated? Okay. I'm quite pale in general, but less so at the moment. That's probably the best way to say that. So this is my face. So, the color is in Stag Bunny, which I love the name of this. So I actually have 2 of these. And I thought what I might do is buy some mohair to go along with this and knit it into a shawl, maybe a boho blush was what I was thinking. Or the Fleur shawl. I have one of those in Sonda Yarn Co.'s, anyway, it's blue, dusty blue, which I wear the shit out of. It's my favorite of all the things I've ever knit. That's my favorite. So I thought this could be really nice. I could wear it with white t-shirts, white shirts and black pants, and it could be really classy. However, again, another issue, I wear a lot of grey. This colour with grey, I don't know, too warm, cool, not really, for me, doesn't float my boat. However, just before I was thinking, well, hang on, this has a lot of kind of oaty tones in it. What if I did that? I mean, I'd still have a whole other skein of this left. So if I'm trying to use up leftovers, which is essentially what I'm trying to do, is I've got all these projects potentially around, I would probably be creating myself another job, because then I'd have at least one, maybe two of these. I'd have one, if not 1.5, that I would need to do. But I could probably... Also, I like the fact that these are variegated and speckled, and it could look really weird to go to plain from... Okay, it was a good idea. I don't hate the idea, but I don't think it's the best use of it. I do think... I don't know, I used to think this would wash me out, but I'm thinking if I wore a dark sweater in I don't know what colour, I think it'd be okay. I think I'm going to pair it with, I've been looking around on the interwebs, along avec Anna's colour silk mohair in the colour Dune. I can get it from Sunspun, who I love very much, that yarn store. I don't know the owner personally or anything, I just love their products. And I think this could be very nice. So maybe that's another project. I could just get the mohair, start on that. Again, probably too hot for mohair right now. It is 1,000 degrees. But I feel like this with some denim, I always, if you know, anytime I talk about an outfit ever, it's like, and then I'll wear jeans. I wear a lot of jeans. But I could wear this with light denim, dark denim, black, all would look amazing. I feel like a white shirt. If you have any ideas, and I'd love to hear them, what colours go well with oat? Because I've never worn oat because I've been told it doesn't suit me. So I've always worn grey, which I think because I'm rosy toned, I feel like the pinks and the greys go really nicely together. So I think grey is my comfort colour. This is still lovely. I don't know. Feel free to tell me what you think. I'd really like your opinion. I respectfully ask that you can be kind in your opinion, but if this doesn't work for me, like, someone for the love of God tell me. Just real nice, okay? And then if you think it could be good, what colours go well with oat colours? Like, I don't know. Anyway, fun. Okay, next. Oh, okay. So, another dream sweater that I have, and everyone's gonna go, come on, really? No, you won't. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you either A, never ever seen my episodes before, or B, you must like grey sweaters, because all I do is knit grey stockinette sweaters. So if you're into that, then you'll probably be right up this, right? So I actually have a ball and a bit of this, a skein and a bit that I've already used, of Snowbound, Loft, Brooklyn Tweed. What I would actually like to do, now I know that this is Loft, so hold please. I actually would like to do Shelter. I'd like to do the, ooh, what's that called? It's popped out of my brain. Oh, it's only like the sweater I've wanted to knit since the beginning. It's an Andrea Mowry pattern. It's bottom-up construction. I actually bought the pattern. It's a bottom-up construction. It has a boat neckline with some nice ribbing along here. You all know the one I'm talking about. Weekender. There we go. I was like, I'm not saying I'm going to write this in the notes. I'll remember it any second now. So I want a weekender, and I'd like it in Snowbound. I think I accidentally said in another episode that I wanted it in Wood Smoke, but I don't think that colour would actually suit me very much. This is a very similar colour, and I just, it's fine. This is an Abbey Road Wool to be Wild that I just randomly have. I also have a random blue skein. Fucked if I know what I'm going to do with those. Any suggestions, I'm open to it. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a second. We'll come back and I'll tell you what happened there. So this is the Loft. I'm keeping this because I definitely think some colour work. I would like to do maybe Artifact which is a beautiful dark green, and then maybe do loft as the contrast colourwork colour. Ooh, you know what that could be really pretty in? There's this fingering sweater. I was going to do it maybe in, no, actually, I think I'm still going to do it in Biche Bouche. Look, I've got all these plans. I don't know if this is very helpful or entertaining, but whatevs. I'm enjoying it. Anyway, I'll tell you about that sweater in a minute. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. It is beautiful. I think that I've heard from everyone that once you knit a sweater in this, it's like your mind is blown. It's the most, and I must admit I have knit a beanie in this. That's where the other ball and a bit went. I love the fabric. I didn't love the beanie, but that had nothing to do with the fabric and the yarn. It had to do with I made all these adjustments that didn't actually work that great. They were fine. It was adequate. It was average, but I wouldn't have done it that way now. It was one of the first projects I made. So yep, I freaking love this, and I would very much like a sweater. I'd like the Weekender in Snowbound in Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, and this loft I am eventually probably, oh, the other thing I could do with this actually was, and this is my other option, I have a pair of Cloudburst mittens, which I have shown before. For anything that I mentioned that I have done, I would say that 80% of it is on my Ravelry page, which is Serenity Knits 23 on Ravelry. I haven't updated everything, but I would say 70 to 80%, which is pretty good. Let's be honest. And so it's not the best, but still 70-80% of what I'm talking about is on there. So if I'm talking about something that I've either made, I've either probably shown it in a past episode, well, I've definitely done that, or it's on my Ravelry. So there's that. I love my Cloudburst mittens. I knit them in a, I didn't love the yarn combination. It was very synthetic, but they were meant to be like super hard wearing I was working out on a property at this point in the middle of the central west of New South Wales, so the arse end of nowhere. And I needed something warm and very, very durable, and that if I got them caught on barbed wire, I wasn't going to be depressed if I lost them. Or if a small child, which there was also, I was hanging out with small children a lot, they were with me on the property. If any of that happened, I wouldn't be devastated. So I could knit another pair of Cloudburst mittens in this. However, I also could knit it in, I have a whole ball and a bit, I'm trying to like, where's the front, of the Biche Bouche Le Petit Lanswool in light grey. So I could also knit them in this. Both beautiful. I think I'd be inclined to do the loft because I've been knitting in this quite a bit recently. And I think the loft would be really, it's a bit thicker. Maybe I should do that. I really love those mittens. Anyway, I might put that to the side. Back to the Abbey Road Wool to Be Wild. I'll be honest, I don't know why I own these. I liked the colours. I thought they'd be great. I think that I knit them up. I started a hat with the blue. I love the colour. Freaking love the colour. I knitted it. I think I was knitting it too tight of a gauge. I think I was treating it like it was see, it says 6 mil, and I don't think I was using that. I would even up that, to be honest. I think this is a bulky at least. I think I was treating it like a worsted, and I think it's chunkier than that. Something that annoys me greatly, like really truly it does. So I am not as like, yarny people sometimes can look at a ball and go, cool, for 100 grams, 125 meters means it is a worsted, bulky, blah, 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 blah. I know that 400-ish is a fingering, 350, 300-ish probably might be a sport. 200 and something-ish is probably a DK, 250-ish DK. Now, I'm just making that up. I could be totally wrong. Once it gets to here, I don't know what I'm doing. So I would like them to just put it on the fucking ball band. to be quite frank. And when I buy from Spotlight, they never do. Like, I also have this one, which I actually love this yarn. This is a really good yarn. As far as a Spotlight yarn that I would really recommend, this is same Abbey Road. This is the Wind Cries Merino. Doesn't look like much in the ball, I'll be honest, but I knit a really nice beanie out of this. I don't know, I'm pretty sure I've uploaded all the beanies I've knit video, like my knit wardrobe. I think I would actually knit a sweater in this. I really like it. But again, it didn't really tell me what the yarn weight was. And to be honest, because this is a chain yarn, I think you could knit this at pretty much, well, not whatever you want, but anywhere from a fingering through DK probably. Anyway, I just don't know what to do with these. I'll be honest, I've considered donating them. I just don't know the answer. And sometimes stuff like this annoys me a little bit because I'm looking at it going, what am I doing with you? But I'm also like, look, I could bang out a really quick pair of mittens in those, and those would be really cute for a gift. So I'm not, I don't know, I'm on the fence. Cool. Next. Okay. Give me a second. I'm just going to sort this out a little bit. Okay. I have some Let Lopy. Excuse the crinkles. Just now, I have another question. See, I have lots of questions. If you guys don't want to answer them, that's okay too. Some people apparently, I always hear podcasters go, apologies for the crinkles. Now, do people really hate the crinkles? Is this a thing? I personally don't hate it, as long as it's not like over the talking. Ooh. Okay, so if you don't like crinkles, close your ears. I have 4 balls of Let Lopy, which I knit my Felix sweater out of. Now I'm almost sure that I bought 10, possibly 11 balls total for my Felix sweater. And I obviously didn't use quite a few of them. So I love my Felix sweater, would wear it definitely. See, funnily enough, I get a similar prickle factor to this as I do the Corrie worsted. But I know for a fact that the Corrie worsted, most people would not find that as prickly as Let Lopy. People find Let Lopy very prickly. So don't really know what to do about that. I really love this yarn. I found it really, really nice to work with. I do wear it all the time. So I've got 4 balls. I'm thinking color work on a sweater. Again, I'm thinking a dark green maybe. I had played around with the idea of doing a Lumi sweater in this. However, I think I want the Lumi to be a bit softer. This is definitely like I couldn't wear, I don't think I could wear this. I could wear it next to skin, like on my arms and maybe like a little bit of my neck, but not like with a full, oh, well, I mean, I suppose I do, to be honest with I do wear t-shirts with the other one. Anyway, I'm not sure, but I really like this yarn and I think it could be beautiful. The other color is, there's a red rust color, which I think also could be pretty, but I think I'd be inclined to use an oat as a contrast. Anyway, so I'm not sure about that. So again, crinkles, close your ears. I do have 4 balls of that. So unsure what to do about that. In a similar vein, I won't pull this out because I have one I've prepared earlier. I have quite a number. This is also another Spotlight yarn I would actually recommend. I do have a few, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like I've made the mistake so you don't have to, you know, like, you're welcome. I have Keepsake organic wool. Again, this is another one that it didn't say what the actual weight of the yarn is. In comparison to, see, this is where I get confused. In comparison to this one, I'll show you the one with the band, the Wool to be Wild. This one says it needs to be knit as 6 mil. So that's pretty big. So I'm going to say bulky, right? Yeah. This one says 4mm, which sometimes a 4mm is generally around a DK, right? Am I right? However, I knit a ranunculus with this on a 6mm needle, and it was freaking fine. And when I look at it, I definitely see more worsted than DK. That's just my personal opinion. Try to see if I can get out a... Nope. See if I pull it, it will look... I don't know. To me, that just looks a little more on the side of worsted. But again, I think you could probably play around with it. It's all about gauge, and it's all about the kind of fabric you like. So I have... Okay, crinkles, hang tight. I'm not going to pull them all. I have 5 full balls of this. So the other thing I had considered... Oh, I put it away. I had considered holding the Let Lopy as colour work with this. They are the same the same. They're in the same family of weight. However, this is significantly softer. I've previously said, quote unquote, it peels like a mofo. I think they have a really nice, I can't even get this at my store anymore. So there's this thing about Spotlight that I found out, which I find very irritating, which is apparently the types of yarns that they allow or they stock is based on like whether or not it's considered to be a fancy area. So it's not like, not quite that bluntly, but like it's kind of like there are prestige stores that they have nice yarns in. And then in rural stores, they don't think that they're going to sell those yarns, so they don't have them at all. And I'll be honest, I find that a little bit shit because like they have 100% alpaca yarns, they have like this Keepsake organic wool. And just because I live a bit more remotely, I don't have access to this in person. I just have acrylic and I don't know, there's just something to me that feels a bit not okay about that. It feels a bit elitist or a bit like demographicist. Don't think that's a word. I don't know, it just makes me feel a little bit annoyed. Not only because it's irritating, but I feel like from a social justice point of view, there's just something about the idea that you'd label a store or a particular area as not needing to have nice access to like nicer yarns because we like can't afford them or something. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting on my high thoughts. Point is, I like this yarn. I do think it's worth doing. It is a bit pilly. Maybe if you knit it at a tighter gauge, it'd be less. Personally, for 100% organic wool that's really soft and pretty reasonably priced, I'm okay with a few pills. I got this on a super duper sale. I got like a giant bag for 30 bucks. So hence why I have so much. I could try it. Do you know what'd be pretty? There's this pattern called Sprouted. Maybe I should see if I've got the yardage for it. It's very pretty. I could just try. What's the worst thing that happens? I rip it out. Ooh. Interesting idea. These are in the same family too. Could I use this as a base color and then I can't hold them all at once. Could I do the dark grey and then do the color work in those? I don't hate these 3 together. I think that's very pretty. I think the blue is too close in value. But those 3 are really pretty. Maybe I should do that. Okay. See, this is why we need to play around. Okay. Guys, that'd be really pretty. Have we just had a really good idea? I think we might have. Okay. How many of this have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at how much each? 100 meters each. So I've got 500 meters. That's pretty decent. Sort of. Not really, is it? But I could order a couple of more of these. I'm gonna do some Googling. We're going on to Ravelry. Sorry, Crunchy. I'm gonna go on to Ravelry and see if I can find, okay, stick those up there, some colour work. Ooh. I'm excited. Okay, cool. This has already been very inspiring. Okay, cool. Next. Because then I could also, she's not done yet. She's still thinking. If there wasn't, because there'd be way, like for the colour work, it'd have to be a lot of colour work to use all of this. So the other thing I could do is I could add colour work on the cuffs, or I could do contrasting cuffs to kind of, yeah, I don't love the blue in it, but I'm okay to do the blue for something else. Because I could just do a whole Winterfell sweater. So I'm okay with splitting them up. Let's see what else I've got in here. Who knows? I might even have a whole other colour in here that I haven't thought about. Okay, cool. So, 55 minutes of just me talking crap about yarn. Amazing. If you're enjoying this, like it, subscribe it. Do the things that YouTubers do. Okay. Next. Okay, just to keep the crinkle fest going, and then I'll stop crinkling because they'll be done now. I did talk about this in my last podcast, so apologies for continuing to go round and round circles. I have 5 or 6 of these. Can't remember exactly how many. There's now spread out between a few different places. I have 5 or 6 of these. It's 100% alpaca in Peru. Fingering weight. I would have about 1,500 meters of this because that's what I would have ordered for a sweater's quantity, because I thought I was knitting a pink fizz. However, now that I have it in my hot little hands, I don't feel like it's a pink fizz. I just don't. I don't know what to do with this. I don't feel like the color is showing up very well on the camera. Oh, wait. I mean, it's beautiful. I have a whole sweater's quantity of this, or a shawl's quantity. I can do a lot of shit with this. So I can either hold it double and do about 600 meters worth of shawl if I have it DK. I could knit pretty much any shawl I wanted if I held it fingering weight, like pretty much anything I wanted. And I could knit an entire sweater. And I have plenty, see if I can find, I've got plenty of things that I could do contrast colors with this, because I have plenty of, that'd be too close in value, I'm sure, but I could find something. Like, I would for sure have something to, like I would for sure have something to hold with this. That's probably very close to, but 100% I would have something to do with this. What do I do? I hate, these are the things that I look at and I go, I don't feel like I can buy a whole new sweaters quantity because I have an entire sweaters quantity that I don't know what to do with. So it's not even like with the Corrie where it's like, maybe I could just like top it up. And I love that. For me too, I think it's very, very useful. Like with this too, like, okay, yes, I'm not sure what to do with it, but if I buy 4 balls of silk mohair, then I got a project. Do you know what I mean? Like yes, I have to buy something, but I'm using up something. For this, I could just knit something. Like I could just knit something, and I just don't know what to do. I did consider very strongly doing a first world problems. Also, it was a big sigh for such a small issue. First world problems. Nobody's gonna die if I don't work this out. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can just sit there for another 6 months. No big deal. So, but I do feel like it's beautiful. Like, this yarn is beautiful. I almost bought some more because she had a 20% off sale recently, and I was like, do I need it in a dark blue? Yes, obviously I did. You know what? I should have bought the dark blue to make the lento. It would have been beautiful. Anyway. So then I did think, do I make a lento with this? But I don't know. I just don't feel like, funnily enough, dusty pink mauve is my favourite colour. I just don't think it actually suits my skin tone very much. I think it needs either more pink, like even there, not great, is it? Anyway, help. Please help me. Please help me. I just feel like it's a particular fibre too, where it definitely does. I've swatched it, and I showed a swatch in my last video. I wish I had it on me, but I don't. I swatched it in my last video. It definitely does bloom a little bit. but not heaps. It's not as, I think because it's the alpaca, it doesn't have the kind of like round plumpiness. Plumpy is the technical term. Look it up. It doesn't have the plumpiness that I want it to have for a shawl. I do think it'd make a beautiful garment, but I just don't know what one. Slash be super warm. Maybe I just make a really simple wrap or something, like just a stockinette, fucking long triangle, not triangle. What's that thing called? Rectangle. What's that other shape with 4 sides? 2 of them are longer than the other. I don't know. I like this idea. I feel like I could start that. I feel like if I can find something that does, I could start that this afternoon. Not that I need anything else to start, but I could. Okay, I'm going to pop that up there too. Actually, I've got one out somewhere else, so I won't. But I think that those are my 2 next. If I can cast on those, I feel like once those are fully in motion, it would be reasonable for me to buy more yarn. Okay, next. Now there's one of these I'm actually really, oh God, it's getting a little crazy in here, friends. Ooh. When you start pulling loose ends, you're like, there's one particular colour that I am looking for of this, because I have a few, and I want to show you because there's a sweater that I actually want to knit. I want to buy more and knit. Oh God. Getting a little crazy. But maybe it's not in here. Maybe I've got it in something I'm using. Oh, but they are so pretty. Okay. Ta-da! Oh, look. Oh, let me do that again. Ready? Ta-da! Oh, they're so pretty. This is La Biche et Bouche. I cannot speak French. But at least I'm not calling it biches and bouches. It's okay. I started calling it that, so I'm not actually making fun of you if you thought that's how it was pronounced, because that's totally how I thought it was pronounced too. I also have this. Oh, I'm like, I don't want to pause this, so I'm not even going to show you, but you just have to trust me, okay? I have this. I just cannot be bothered to edit this thing. I don't know why I don't do a live. I've really thought about this. I should just go live. I think that I have a little fear that maybe just one time I'll say something too insane. And then I'll be like, oh God, I can't take it back. I'm on the live. But I don't actually edit anything, so I don't know why I bother. Anyway, look how much yarn I have. So much yarn. So I originally bought this for the Birkin Sweater by Caitlin Hunter. Gosh, my memory is pretty good today. And then the contrast wasn't enough. I also have a soft deep blue green. That's not the thing. It's the blue green colorway. God, it's so pretty. It's actually my favorite color at the moment, and I am a little disappointed that I can't show it to you, but I'm pretty sure it's either in the bag that I'm looking at over there or it's somewhere around the house. So if you have been watching my actual podcast, you may remember a lone blue-green mitten that I said I was going to do the other one of. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to rip that mitten out. I've either A, got a new pair of mittens that I'm going to cast on that have some color work that I'm going to rip back into like the cuff and just redo that one. B, I love this sweater called, and I think I'm definitely going to mispronounce this. I think it's the Valky sweater, the Valky sweater. I can't remember if there's an L in there. It's in my favorites, in my bundles. If you're interested, I think it's one of my most recently, I can't remember who did it. It's my most recent, or in the most recent few that I favorited. I want to do that in that blue-green colour, whether or not that ends up being the Biche Bouche Le Petit Lamb's Wool, or whether it ends up being maybe the Sport Weight Ulysses de Rerum Natura, maybe in like, they've got a few different tones that are similar, like eucalyptus. Anyway. Or I really also love, which I'll show very shortly, Rama Fino. So anyway, point is, it's a fingering slash, probably get away with sport colorwork sweater. Beautiful. So just imagine that color here. For these, I have been toying around. Oh God, they're so pretty. I have been toying around with the idea of knitting a Vertices Unite. Now, I may or may not have mentioned at some point, although I love how I keep going now. This is very serious business. I have at some point actually knitted 75% of a Vertices Unite. Love the pattern. Love, 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 love. I didn't end up liking the yarn I used or the colours. I still have, you guys can just sit there. I'm still in the process of unraveling part of it that I was using. I use Madeline Tosh, what's this stuff called? Merino Light, Mad Tosh Merino Light. This colour is in Silver Fox and Rye Bourbon. I ended up unravelling some of this to make the Sweet Carsons. God, look at that. Good Lord. I will fix that one up a little bit because it's getting a bit grey. To make Carson's Baby Beanie, which is called the Westerly by Tin Can Knits. Look at this brain. I just haven't gone all the way through it. So I was thinking about using this for that. I do think it would be beautiful. Again, pastel, but I think, I don't know. The only thing I have with this is there's a lot of ones where you have to stripe the sections. You could choose not to stripe the sections, but what would happen is you would have to then count all of the, you would have to count the stitches to make sure that you have the right amount of stitches, whereas when you alternate the rows, it's easier to make sure that you're doing the pattern correctly. I know that that may or may not make any sense, but I really considered it, and I think I just like the block colors. So again, could be a really cool fade. Don't know how I would do that, to be honest. I feel like I'd need more colors in between, but like there's something I'm going to be able to do with these. With these two, I'm sure, here I'm just going to use my face to hold these. I feel like I could sub in some fennel. It's a similar, they're not the same. Fennel is thicker. It's a bit more plumpy. It's definitely got more of a twist, but texturally, it's the same kind of dry, woolly wool. It's like non-superwash. It's got a dry feeling to it, which I love. So I do feel like potentially I could sub, oh gosh, it's very hard to hold this many balls of wool. I could sub some of this in. Again, ideas, open to them. I just feel like these are so pretty. Oh, so I told you what I was making it for. So I was gonna do it for the Birkin, but I ended up using it, some of these colors, for the bright side sweater that I have. But really, I barely touched them. I love my sweater, it's gorgeous, but I barely touched them. So very, 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 and I'm very open to any of this, and I've got quite a lot. So I've got, ooh, just dropped them. I've got 250 meters. I would estimate that I probably have 800-ish meters between the four of these bowls, maybe slightly more. So that's quite a lot. That's a whole, it's probably not a Vertices Unite. I'd need another color, but it'd be decent. Vertices Unite too it takes a lot, because yeah, it does take a lot. It's a good stash buster, but you need to have like the right amount of yardage, and I don't think this would cut it. Anyway, I just, again, 5 is too, just so you know, 5 is too many balls to hold at once. I've tested it, don't do it, it's too many. This is other yarn that I just feel like I wish I could use. Like, I just think I love using this yarn. I really, really enjoy using it. I wish I just could find something to use that for because I really love it. Okay. We're getting through it. I'm not gonna do everything. There's a few things in here that are just like total random wild cards, but I'll show you a few more things. Okay. Oh, that's the other ball of stag bunny that I did cake up messily. Pretty. Okay. So, okay, so here's the next thing. Oh dear. Okay. Oh God, it's getting a little crazy down there. So I have some phenol wandering around. Look how pretty that is. This is where I start thinking I'm Inga from the knitting traditions, and I now here's my next question. So I have considered knitting an entire sweater in this color. Now I need to find the ball band. I'm pretty sure I've got the color for this on my Ravelry. All right, come on friends. I really need this. If you're still here after an hour and 11 minutes and there's one question that you think about answering, it's going to be this one, okay friends? Is this a color that will look nice on me? I think so. I think so. It's just such a color that I would look at and go, I'm never wearing that. But I think it would be really nice. So I'm thinking about doing this sweater. And then I don't have a full sweaters quantity, but I could very easily get some of this. Not very easily, but I could get it from Little Woolly Makes. And then I could hold it with this, which again, I don't know what color this is, but I'm pretty sure it's on my Ravelry. I'm pretty sure it's on my Nagu Selbu, which I'm definitely butchering with my Australian accent. I think this would be pretty. I've even considered doing my Birkin in this and doing it like this is the full color. But I feel like for these colors, I would like maybe a bit more of a Scandinavian, or a bit more of a Scandinavian's probably not the right word. I'd like a bit more of a traditional Nordic thing. Basically, I want my Nagu Selbu, but in a sweater. And what I'm thinking of doing, this is just an idea. Oh gosh, I'm hot. I'm thinking of taking, I talked about this again in my last podcast, so sorry that I'm repeating myself, but maybe people weren't there. Because I am a bustier human being, sometimes I don't want all the color work right up on my chest. So what I'm thinking of doing is I might actually do this and then have the color work down the bottom. And I like that idea. So I'm thinking about just basically knitting maybe a bright side, for example, and just transferring a really beautiful pattern onto the bottom. Because isn't that what we can just do as knitters? We just make shit up. Most knitters will say it was like an intentional design choice. Oh, sorry, I think I just kicked the tripod. Intentional design choice. No, I'm just making shit up. I'm just making shit up and seeing if it works. But I feel like this color could look really nice with some jeans. Come on, Alex, really? But I also think it would look nice with black. And I've got a pair of boots this would look really good with. I feel like it looks much more red there. It is red. It's definitely like a reddy brown, rust. But I feel like for me, this is a really nice one where it's not too orange, it's not too brown, it's not too red. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, just right. So yeah, and then I just hang, to be honest, I've considered like whether I do a whole, you know, color work. Sometimes I feel like I am a keep it simple color worker. I sometimes feel like too many colors is overkill. Or too many tones. These aren't really colors, are they? But you know, sometimes I just like the two. And I haven't knit and or worn any colorwork garments, and I think starting with something that is a bit more maybe neutral to begin with, I can just see how much I wear it, because I just wear plain grey jumpers, guys. So I feel like anything is a bit of, like, I'm happy. Accessories I go a bit crazy with color wise, but yeah, Okay, next. What else have we got? Okay, so I do have, these are beautiful. So I have, oh, I just dropped a book, don't mind me. All good. Everyone's fine. Okay, there's some ends coming out of this, but don't worry. Oh, I love the colour. I have a whole bunch of singles. Look how pretty that is. I have a whole bunch of singles. I actually have a silver fox, a bit of silver fox left somewhere too. Where are you? I know you're in here. Oh, I've got the rye bourbon too. Ooh, see, that's nice. Okay. I definitely have more silver fox somewhere. I just don't know where. And yes, all of those, if this is giving you severe anxiety, that's okay. I understand. Okay. To be honest, it's giving me severe anxiety. Maybe not severe. It's giving me mild anxiety. I'm looking in the box going, shit, someone needs to clean that up. Okay. Geez, if I thought 5 balls was too many, this is a lot of balls. Can I get them? Yeah. I have a lot of singles. Now, the blue and the green, deep green down the bottom, they're both Sonda Fibre Co. Grace. Cashmere. This is Boreal. This is, oh, hang tight. I've actually got the thingy there, otherwise I wouldn't bother. This is the colour Cathedral. I don't want to say cathedral because that seems really obvious, but I think it's cathedral. I don't speak French again. Beautiful. Oh, now I can't get it back in. This was my, oh, I loved it, God, so much. This is the colour of my Fleur shawl. This was my Waiting for Rain shawl / my Athena shawl. Then I've got Rye Bourbon, Silver Fox. Keep thinking this purple. There's a purple somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. I think this is Ghost or, hang on, I've got the ball band here too, so I'll actually look before I tell you what it is. Yep, Ghost. Hedgehog Fibres. Then I've got Dirty Panther, I think it is. It's a Madeline Tosh. Pink Copper. Did I already show you Rye Bourbon? Rye Bourbon. So, again, I have a lot of yardage here, guys, like a lot. And a very pretty colour palette. Like whether I've definitely got some more Silver Fox somewhere. I definitely do, somewhere floating around. So whether I do something with that, whether I take in or out the Rye Bourbon, I don't know, guys. What do you reckon? Any ideas? Again, considering just casting on a shawl and just like marling them into each other and seeing what happens. Do you know what I mean? Like at least then I've used it for something and it's just not sitting there. Because like, they're very pretty. I'd really love some ideas. I mean, I still mean, if anything, if you're going to answer one question, seriously, I answer about the rusty colour one. That's the one I really care about. But if you've got some ideas, because these, I feel like they're too nice for a scrappy. Like, because they're singles, I feel like they're too nice for a scrappy. I feel like they could, when I say a scrappy blanket, sorry, like, obviously they're going to be something scrappy, but I feel like I could make a really beautiful shawl out of these. Maybe something with a bit of brioche. But I feel like it needs to be something where it's not like, well, you need to have 400 yards of this. I just don't, you know, like I've got bits of stuff. So I'd love it to be a pattern where I can kind of, I feel like I should really look into this one too, this combination too, because I feel like I've got heaps of yarn here. It would be very pretty. Surely I could do something with it. Okay. I'm feeling a little stressed looking at this. Just like, I probably need to go through this entire box and just tidy it up at some point. I'm not going to do that right now. If I'm really honest, like I want to be like, okay, cool. So now I'm going to go through and like sort it out. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to close it and go make a cup of tea. But I wonder if there's anything else that I'd like to show you before we go. still got some more. Oh, see, look. I knew it was in there. Silver fox. See, that's really pretty. It's very messy, but it's very pretty. Okay, well. Oh gosh, I hear a kitten. All right, the other thing that I'm just very briefly going to show you, it's my last thing, I think. Yeah, okay, this is my last thing. I am going to start this. Sorry, I kicked the thingy again. I am going to start this. I have quite a few of these. Fibra Natura? I'm going to call it Fibra Natura. Cottonwood. Now, these are the most annoying balls on the planet. I'm actually going to cake them up in, ooh, beep beep. I don't even know what that is. I'm going to cake these up in cakes because this ball, like, I've owned 3 or 4 of these and they just end up all over the shop. I have a few more of these, 2 more I think. Come on. In a lilac and like a slightly darker lilac. Sorry, I wasn't flipping you off. Jesus. Yep. So I have a few in some, and I would really, really like, I need to find them. I have a pair of straight needles in a size 4 and the beautiful Wendy of Cast Off Collective when I was first ever knitting. This is kind of not where I started, but pretty close. And she showed me how to make very, very simple seed stitch face washes. Now, I wasn't really using face washes. I was just washing my face with gel. But recently, there's been a few times where I've gone to find one and I'm like, oh, fuck is one of these things? And then I just remembered that I have this. And then I bought the pinky and the purpley one from Knit Happens in Wollongbar. So they're on my list. They could be a nice in-between project, but I just feel like this has real potential. I'm very excited about that. I feel like my Rainbow Sprinkles minis have real potential. Very excited about that. I feel like those singles, this could be the time. Like, rather than order something new, maybe I find something to do with all those singles. Like a really simple cast on, see how we go shawl. I could just start doing stripes and see where we get to. Singles, so I've learnt, the thing I think I have with this is I think over the course of my reasonably short knitting adventure, for shawls, my preference is singles and mohair, or like a natural wool and a mohair. For sweaters, a natural wool, like a dry feeling 100% wool is definitely my preference. I haven't tried any like yak but I love like a natural, 100% natural fiber. So I don't really love a superwash. I don't really love, like, they're fine. I'm not like vehemently opposed, but that's my preference. And I haven't knit a mohair sweater or a silk alpaca silk one, but I'm pretty confident I'll be into it. Although I have knit the alpaca linen one, the Rauma, that's beautiful. So I know I like that. For singles on their own, I don't love. I just don't love them. I just don't feel like it's got enough oomph to it. I feel like I need a bit more fluff factor. So with all of those by themselves, I just don't really know what to knit. I love an alpaca. It just depends on the yarn. Like, you know what I love for alpaca? Now I'm just chatting. Because I haven't been doing that for the last hour and a half. I love the black wattle Waratah base. I haven't tried their other base. I bet the sweet pea is stunning. I just have a good feeling. But their first one was, I think it's the Waratah base. Oh no, it's the Grevillea base. The Grevillea base is the 100% alpaca. That is plumpy AF. I knit my mum a daylight, I think it's called daylight fading shawl. took quite a lot of yarn, not heaps, like maybe 3 or 4 skeins of fingering weight yarn, but shit, that thing was stunning. It was so good. I really, really want to knit myself something in that. That was so delicious. I feel like that would make the world's most incredible and probably a little pricey, but probably worth it. Half and half triangles wrap. God, that would be stunning. Super warm too, but it was plumpy. Okay, I think I have some Ravelry searching I have some Ravelry searching to do. I do feel mildly overwhelmed, but I feel like I have a few bundles of projects to consider. There's a few things that I'm very confused about. This one is my first one I'm going to have a look at. I'm also going to look at the singles. I think if I could knit that up in a something, I think a brioche would make the fabric more plumpy, like more plush and squishy, and I think I need a bit of squish factor. So I think if I could get something brioche-y, even if it was a cow, I think that could be really nice. I was secretly hoping I might find something to join the Saturday Shrug Club, but I just don't think I've got anything here that's going to fit the bill for that. That's okay. I've got until like March or something to join in with that if I want to, and maybe I won't get the chance to. We'll see how we go. I do really want a Nutidin, but it's too hot for the Nutidins. Literally my hands get sweaty just holding it, but oh, it smells so good. And I have the pink. I'm not sure what I'm doing with this. I have ideas. This is so much thinner though than the other one. The other one I have, honestly, is so much thicker. This is beautiful. I actually think I like it a little bit thinner. I feel like I could hold it double with more success. The other one, when it's double, it's so thick. Like it's a bulky weight. And I think that'll be exciting in winter because it means I get a bulky weight sweater for not bulky weight heaviness. But right now, in the depths of the summer, my brain just cannot quite handle the truth. Okay, I'm gonna go Ravelry. If you're still here, thanks. Thanks for hanging out with me, checking out my stash. I do feel like I've got some good ideas. I feel like maybe there was some kind of collective brain juice that we all sat in there. Some kind of like collective unconscious working that happened. This I'm excited about. I feel like I would wear the shit out of that color combination. So I am going to go do some investigating. If you've got any ideas for anything, definitely leave it below. / drop me a line on Instagram. I'm around. I do take forever to reply. You may have noticed that with comments. I'm not actually very, I'm a terrible millennial. I'm not very social media savvy. Okay, so yeah, I feel like as a wrap up, I am going to go and get at some point, I'm going to get the June for this. I think that's going to be beautiful. Let's just do that. I'm going to go and find something to do with this. I could get more of the dark grey very easily. So I think that's a really nice way to use it. But it also means I wouldn't have to buy more of the Corrie worsted at $50 a skein. / don't stress, I'll do it for this. I'll buy it for the Winterfell, either in the worsted, which would be stunning. I like the feeling of the Corrie Falkland, Corriedale, or the Gotland wool. I like the feel of this in a sweater, so I definitely think I could do this / who knows. But this Winterfell colour, I need a sweater in this. Fuck it, I've decided. I need one. So that's happening. The Biche Bouche, still thinking about it. If you got any suggestions, that'd be great. I definitely think the rainbow sprinkles, I'm going to go and look up some beautiful scrappy projects or a faded something. I think these are 50 grams each. And I don't know, so that's probably around 200-ish meters per thingy. So if I've got 5 of those, that means I've got about 1,000 meters. Plus I have a shit ton of random, see, I reckon I could even make a, what's that homespun house blanket? She does one that I'm pretty sure it's 1,000 meters. See, I could do that. That'd be really nice. Ooh. Okay. this video could never end because I'm filled with creativity. And I'm just grateful that you guys, if you are here, that you would hang around with me and actually just, to be honest, be able to just have this space and time to be able to get excited and creative. I've been feeling a little bit flat about the knitting thing. I just want to order something new, but I can't work out what to order. And I feel like this is a nice way of being able to talk through some fun ideas. I feel like it's like, yeah, it's like sitting with friends and going, oh, what do you think you're going to do? Oh, what do you think you're going to do? And I love that process of knitting. And I don't often get to do that, / I don't often give myself the time to do that, to be really honest. So this is fun. I also have, oh look dude, I could just look in my raglan book. I've got books coming out my ears. So, okay, I'm gonna let you go now. All right, thanks guys. Geez, an hour and a half, good Lord. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope this has maybe helped you think about some ideas that you want to use your stash for, your knitting stuff. Maybe we should do a knit along. That sounds like work. I'll think about it, okay? If anyone's got any ideas for what we could do for a knit along, or like a stash knit along. I mean, it's not very exciting. Maybe we have to think of a way to excite it up a little bit or make it a bit different. Anyway, I'm leaving now, okay? Bye, see you later.